Okay, welcome back, everybody. Another week of training for you guys. Same thing as always. Monday, heavy pressing. Started with log. I've got a set of 5 here at 205. I believe this is my first set. Um, moved fairly well. Got a little sticky. A couple of them just moving forward, but overall a lot better control than last week. I was trying to be really intentional with my lockouts. And ensuring that the log had no front to back movement. Uh, so that went really well. Second set of 5 here. Same thing, fairly decent. The weight is not crazy heavy for me. Personally, I would like to be at least at or over my body weight when I do my heavy pressing days. Currently, I'm sitting about 210, 215. So kind of just under that mark, but overall, this much volume with this weight is a good spot for me. After I dropped that, I did do one more rep, but it was a little bit sticky, so just decided to leave that part out. Move over to my Swiss bar board press. So simply, again, a reduced range of motion bench. The neutral handles are the same distance apart as my log, so I get a lot of good carryover with this variation. We've got 190 here, and I bang these out for 3 sets of 8. Sleeveless moved really well for me. Typically, what I try to do on these sets is have the first set, maybe set and a half, move fairly fast. So you'll see him kind of just pulsing off the chest, not really pausing. Obviously, it's very controlled, but I'm kind of just banging him out. And then I get a little bit sloppy there at the end of this second set. But for a few of these, I do try and control them. So you can see there, I'm starting to control down, a little bit of pause on the chest, and then blast through it. And then as I get a little bit more fatigued, get more of the touch and go, or get more of a heave off the chest. You can see there, I'm kind of just bouncing it a little bit more than controlling. But yeah, overall, movement feels really, really good. Then my third movement for the day were these Z press on the axle. So very light on the straight weight. That is just 65 pounds with a 25 pound axle. But I have the full 80 pounds of chain. So that really changes the movement. I've talked about this before. Whenever you're overhead pressing with chains, you can stall out very fast, and I did. So you can see here, I set it down, take a second, recenter myself, and get my set of 10 in. I believe I did 2 sets here, but I believe I only showed 1. So really good movement. The only thing on that one is I'm not sure if it's a mobility problem or something else that I'm doing wrong, but I feel that a lot in my lats and kind of mid to upper back. Just it almost feels like I'm pressing from there, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But anywho, they felt good. And then accessories here, doing some seated cable rows. I'm trying to just get more of a high pull shrug type of row in. And then some incline flies, just for some more volume on the chest. Getting a lot of calories in right now, as well as a lot of volume and training overall. So trying to see if I can grow the chest a little bit to help support the log, help support, everything, just build a bigger shelf. And, well, it looks kind of cool. So then I do these press downs, or tricep extensions, whatever you want to call them, against the toe strap. I just do one big drop set, kind of keep stripping a plate whenever I fail. And especially when I'm doing, movements like this versus things like a pull down or a row, that mini band I have looped around. Every little half inch you move that guide rod, those guide rods travel. It really, really increases the tension. But it's good. Feels really good. Again, same thing. Lots of calories, lots of training, trying to get most recovery I can in. Just trying to grow the triceps and make sure those are not a weak point. Finishing this out, moved really well. I superset these with a set of pull-ups to failure. So I just go, excuse me, straight pull-ups, and then as soon as I fail out or I can't get more than 2 or 3 reps, then I add a band and finish out the set. Moving on to Tuesday's session. Again, lower volume slash squat focus day. Move into my cambered axle bar squats versus bands. So I got 4 sets of 3 here at 290 versus about 120 pounds of band tension at the top. Again, as I talked about in the last video talking about these, I'm trying to focus more on intent when moving. Typically, you see people when they're using things like bands and chains do them for speed work, but what I'm trying to use these for is moving weight intentionally. Yes, that is inherently, trying to move it fast, trying to move it efficiently, but just trying to make sure that everything is firing, everything is braced the way it needs to be to control the weight effectively. So really love this movement. Moves really well. Doing these beltless adds a different stressor, makes them harder for sure. And then, this here, I talk about it a lot on these Tuesday sessions. This is my challenge set for the day. This is, just looking at my training log, a set of 6 at 350. And yeah, it got pretty ugly. So I'm just going to up the audio here. So, great movement. Definitely worked me pretty hard, but it's always fun. Next thing, these SSB pin good mornings versus chains. So I've got what looks to be 205 there in straight weight, 80 pounds of chain. Ideally, I would like to set these pins at about the start of my deadlift position. I do typically start my deadlifts with my hips a bit lower, but I don't want to turn this into more of a squat. So with this movement, I try to just push my hips back, get a full stretch in the hamstrings, hold the brace as best I can. I am doing these with just an underbelt, so I do have something to brace against, because I find if I do these completely beltless, I just feel a little bit unsafe about my brace. Then next set here, I go to, I just take the chains off, leave the 205 loaded for a set of, oh my gosh, 2 sets of 10 I had at 205. So some good volume there. You can see on the face just how much this sucks. I've mentioned it a lot in previous videos when I'm talking about this movement. But this is a great way to get hinging volume in without using stupid amounts of weight or without using just overloading amounts of total tonnage. I've talked about doing things like RDLs, where to get the same amount of stress I want from good mornings from RDLs, I would have to load up, close to 400, over 400 pounds. And then that's kind of dipping into my deadlift sessions. Obviously I'm able to recover, but I just like that I'm able to go slightly lighter and get about the same amount of fatigue in. You saw those barbell rows, real simple, 3 sets of 10 to 15. I call those barbell rows because I'm focusing on the upper back. Excuse me. Things, I call them always Pendlay rows whenever I'm focusing on my lats. But obviously, there's different things you can mention. Finished up with a set of split squats and called that a day. Thursday, bench volume. I was super happy with this set. This is an axle bench with 245 that I grind out for a set of 3. That is about 5 pounds off of my straight bar PR, I believe. I think. And then I drop back to a couple sets of, 3 sets of 5 with 210. Again, on the axle. I find oftentimes that the axle feels a lot better than a power bar for benching, personally. Just the way the way the bar sits in your hand, just kind of spreads the weight throughout your hand and wrist a little bit nicer. But that's obviously just personal preference. And then I moved over from the flat bench to the incline using the buffalo bar. I suck at incline bench as it is. So when I add this, maybe 3/4 inch deficit, man, that sucked. So this is 135. I did for 3 sets of 6. And I'm actually really struggling, honestly, more at trying to get the bar low enough. Excuse me. Getting the bar low enough to touch my chest. Oh my gosh. Which is probably not a good thing, but we'll work on that. Finisher for Thursday was the Swiss bar chest supported rows into some press downs. So I have this block that I had my dad weld up for me. It's just a 3x3 kind of Saxon bar simulator. But threw it on the cable so that I can have something flat to press down with, and felt really nice. So definitely going to keep using that as a push down attachment. I don't do much chest supported row work simply because it's not very convenient. You can even see here the range of motion isn't awesome. But man, it felt so good to not really have to worry about bracing or hamstrings cramping up after deadlifting and squatting and whatnot. But yeah, press down went well. And well, you know what's coming. Friday, heavy day, deadlift day. I had a set of 8 here with 445, slowly creeping that weight up, trying to build to a set of 5 at 500 pounds. We're going to get there. We're going to get there before the off season ends and we get into prepping for a show. Don't know what show it's going to be, but for now, listen to these deadlifts. Yeah, so obviously super happy with how those moved. Did not have the highest energy going into this day. I'm not sure why. it's one of those things where like work wasn't hard. I slept well. I ate fine. I ate more than I usually do going into a Friday session. But energy was just kind of low. So building up to that 445, it took me a long time, and kind of just moved lethargic, but got the work done. What you just saw was a set of paused deadlifts at 405. I did that for, I believe, 3 sets of 3. Yes, 3 sets of 3 at 405. This is the hardest set of front squats I've ever done. This is a set of 3 at 330. And looking back, oh god, okay, never mind. I was gonna say they didn't move as slow as I thought, but man, that was slow. That sucked. Yeah, that took my soul a little bit. Uh, these front squats have been slowing down in progress a lot. I'm not sure if it's because I've been kind of redlining them every week, or if it's because I'm just doing them after deadlifts, and I should maybe focus on having them flip-flop each week, as I did in my previous block. But end of the day, front squat is not a movement we get tested on. Deadlift is, so that is going to be our focus. This volume set here, we had 265 for a set of 6. Moved fine, nothing special. Moved over to my deficit Penlay rows. I left the squat shoes on just to kind of mimic how I would pick a bag or stone. And yeah, felt about the same. Bit more of a deficit. This movement felt really, really good. Highly recommend to anybody looking for a row variation. I finished that Friday with some hypers and pull downs. Didn't quite show those. What I also was going to include on the Friday was these reverse lunges. I'm trying to get a lot more unilateral work in, just to try and target any weaknesses that I might have kind of overlooked or not directly addressed in previous training sessions or blocks. So this is the start of my Saturday, getting some reverse lunges in with the SSB, just trying to pulse them out, making sure I'm keeping a large majority of the tension and power output on that front leg. Weight there looks to be maybe 115. Nothing stupid heavy. Again, was pretty sore from that Friday session. So as we do on Saturdays, I moved the yoke. I actually moved it down one. So I believe it's 52-inch bar. Going beltless, have the 250 bag, and they move really well. The first couple reps I did before recording kind of got stuck on the top, but I don't believe any of them like slammed into the front of the crossbar, so that feels really nice. Would like to build the work capacity up a bit more on those, but it's good. This is farmers. I haven't touched farmers in a couple weeks. I loaded 240 on the tanks. These are very hard handles. They just suck. Loaded 240, about 25-foot run, so 50-foot total. Did this for 2 sets, beltless, a little bit of chalk. Nice and easy. I love farmers. My grip is fairly solid, and I like the moving events because I'm good at them. I don't often train them, but for whatever reason, I'm good at them. But anywho, overall, another solid week of training. As I said last week, it's a nothing special week. It's not a shitty week. It's just a whole bunch of work. And that's what you got to do a lot of the time, is put the work in. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week.